close to the sun.
Okay, so going to this video, I have no clue what to expect, and I don't think I'll like what's gonna happen, but that might just be me.
Responded, you don't have to explain things to me, Luthor. Concentrate on the fight ahead and good luck. Luthor heard your message. He paused before whispering, I'm just working through my thoughts. Val Alator said, begin.
Okay.
Val Alator phased away and the only vision mirror facing towards the arena broadcasted his face looking down at the participants. 5 flags phased into the arena. Luthor eyed one of the flags that had spawned closer to him than the others. Levitas Magnus, like air. Luthor disappeared into a gust of wind and flew towards the nearest flag, grabbing it after he reappeared.
Yeah, that is actually so smart. Oh my gosh, yes. But I honestly, I'm so hoping that like he doesn't have to kill anyone. Like, oh my gosh, okay. I don't know what to expect here. Come on.
He whipped his hand behind him. Levitas Miller Magnus, upstream. With Luthor's spell, gusts of air formed, lifting the sand in the arena, and creating a sandstorm wall that separated and obscured Luthor from the other participants.
Oh my gosh.
Luthor turned his head, eyeing something that came flying through his sandstorm. A participant landed in front of Luthor, an icicle spear in his gut.
Oh my gosh.
Luthor clenched the flag in his hand as the riding stopped.
So that happened then?
The sandstorm died down and Luthor saw the source of the spear, a water mage standing across from him holding a flag.
Well, this isn't good.
Instead of coming at Luthor, the water mage turned in another direction and said, Aquitus Magnus, spit spear. The water mage spat into his hand and the spit changed into an icicle spear. He then tossed it at the back of another participant who wasn't paying attention.
Oh my gosh, no!
The flag he held started to glow. Levitas Magnus, like air. Luthor flew to the water mage and knocked him to the ground.
Okay.
The water mage grunted and said, what gives? I'm not even targeting you, kid. Gravitas Magnus, calcium rich. The bones in Luthor's arm and hand hardened. He punched the water mage hard in the stomach.
Oh my gosh!
Luthor grabbed the glowing flag from the water mage's hand. Luthor grabbed the glowing flag from the water mage's hand. The water mage groaned and said, why you little bastard. The water mage coughed and held his stomach, still railing from Luthor's punch. The water mage coughed and held his stomach, still railing from Luthor's punch. He said, give me back my flag. Luthor tightly squeezed the 2 flags in his hands.
Well, I mean, he somehow managed to get 2 flags, and that guy literally, like, killed at least 1 person.
He frowned as the first flag he had obtained started to phase away, leaving Luthor with just the glowing flag.
That's not good.
Luthor surveyed the battle. Luthor surveyed the battle. 2 participants fought nearby. One of the participants said, Gravitas Magnus, rooted limbs. One of the participants said, Gravitas Magnus, rooted limbs. His legs transformed into tree trunks and roots shot out from beneath the other opponent, who managed to dodge just in time. The 2 participants are engrossed in their own battle and not looking at Luthor at all. Luthor looked back at the water mage. You should pretend to be dead before you get killed. The water mage said, I'm going to kill you. He spat into his hand, but instead of a long icicle, a small one formed. I'm guessing your mouth is dry with all this sand and dust. The water mage spat into his hand again, and an even tinier spear formed. Tears started streaming down his face.
Oh no!
He said, what's your... The water mage spat into his hand again, and an even tinier spear formed. Tears started streaming down his face. He said, please give me back my flag. I can't lose now. I just killed 2 people. What's your name? The water mage sniffled and said, Mocha. My wife's having our first child. She says I'm ellipsis. Mocha's voice dropped off for a bit before he said, my wife says I'm a loser and she wants to leave me. She's wrong. I'm going to give my child a good life.
That is very mean. That's such a mean thing for your wife to say. Oh my gosh. This poor guy, I kind of feel sorry for him. I mean, he killed 2 people. But like, I don't know, I kind of feel sorry for him.
Try to move yourself to the edge, Mocha, and pretend to be dead. You can't give anyone a good life if you get killed tonight. Mocha screamed and said, I'm sorry, but I'm not a loser. He aimed the tiny icicle spear in his hand at Luthor's neck.
Oh my gosh.
Luthor blocked with his arm. Luthor blocked with his arm. The spear pierced through Luthor's skin, but shattered as soon as it hit Luthor's hardened bones. Luthor punched Mocha, knocking him out.
Well, okay. Violence, you know.
Okay, maybe I can get through tonight without any bloodshed.
That would be helpful, you know?
Luthor looked up at Val Alator's face in the vision mirror floating above the arena. Luthor looked up at Val Alator's face in the vision mirror floating above the arena. Val Alator is watching intently. Luthor sighed as he looked down at Mocha's unconscious body. sprawled wide on the sand. Luthor grabbed Morka's ankles and started pulling his opponent towards the edge of the arena. He heard Scarlet's voice nearby, as she said, Sol, I got someone's flag. Sol ran towards a participant who had just morphed his legs into tree trunks, paying no heed to his sister. He shouted, Incendiatus Magnus, flamethrower.
Okay.
The participant looked over his shoulder, an expression of fear spreading across his face as he saw Sol. He tried to move, but his tree trunk legs rooted him to the ground, preventing quick maneuvering. Fire spewed out of Sol's hand wildly at the participant with tree trunk legs.
Oh my gosh, no. Oh my gosh, it's so
Luthor narrowed
savage.
his eyes at Sol, who had his eyes closed as he lit the participant's legs on fire.
Yeah, that guy's even more of a jerk than before. Well, actually, no, he's not. He's the same kind of jerk. Like, still freaking lighting people on fire. That is so... Oh my gosh. That guy wasn't even doing anything to him, and he just freaking lit him on fire. That's actually... Like, it wasn't even... Okay.
The participant howled in pain as the fire spread up his tree trunk legs. His legs started to morph back, but Sol's fire spread and the participant dropped to the ground, rolling and screaming.
Oh my gosh, this guy. Sol, you freaking jerk.
Sol looked on, stunned at the sight of what he had just done.
You should be. Oh my gosh.
Scarlet trembled and said, Sol, what did you just do? We already have a flag. Sol looked angry as he shouted at Scarlet, what am I trying to do? What kind of question is that? We both need a flag. Since you have a flag, go kill someone now. Scar.
This guy is genuinely insane. Not even, it's not even funny. He's just genuinely insane. Like, he's just killing. Like, oh my.
Scarlet clutched her flag and froze. The participant with the tree trunk legs continued to scream in pain in the fire. Sol fell to his knees and covered his ears as his opponent continued to burn in front of him.
Yeah, Sol, you know a great way to stop, seeing someone burning in front of you? Don't light them on fire. Yeah, have you ever considered that possibility?
Luthor lowered his gaze and took a deep breath before continuing to drag Morka away. Scarlet clutched her. The participant... Luthor lowered. Several boulders formed above Scarlet's head. She continued to stand under a boulder as it formed.
Oh my gosh.
System message. Scarlet's in trouble. Luthor. One of two. Say nothing. Two of two.
Say nothing! Oh my gosh!
Scarlet's in trouble.
Scarlet's in trouble.
Luthor. One of... Responded. Scarlet's in trouble. Luthor. Luthor turned his head to where he last saw Scarlet. The boulders continued to form over her head. Luthor let go of Morka's ankles. Levitus Magnus, like air. Descriptive help. Levitus Magnus, like air.
Okay.
Luthor transformed into a gust of air and rushed towards Scarlet as the boulders began to fall.
Oh my gosh, come on, make it. Oh my gosh. Poor Scarlet, she hasn't done anything bad. If she dies, guys, if Scarlet dies, I don't even know. I don't think I could continue this.
As Luthor reached Scarlet, Sol also came barreling at her, and together, Luthor and Sol pushed her out of harm's way. One boulder crashed to the ground where Scarlet stood. As soon as the boulder hit the ground, Scarlet covered her mouth.
Oh my, yeah, well.
Sol scowled as he and Luthor both pulled Scarlet by different arms, avoiding the rest of the falling boulders. Luthor ran. Sol let go of Scarlet and scanned the arena for the mate who cast the boulders, but couldn't see anyone in sight. Descriptive help. Sol shook his fist in the air angrily as he shouted, Are you picking on my sister because she's blind? I'm going to get you if you come near Scarlet again. Scarlet leaned towards Luthor and whispered, Thank you, Luthor. Ellipsis. Descriptive help. Scarlet leaned towards Luthor.
Okay, well, at least she didn't die. That was actually so close.
Sol turned to Scarlet and friend when he saw her close to Luthor. He pointed at Luthor and said, You. Stay away from my sister too.
Oh my gosh. He just friggin' basically saved her life, you little ungrateful swine.
Scarlet said, Sol. Ellipsis. Luthor just tried to save me.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Look at what's right in front of you.
Sol pointed one thumb at his chest and said, I saved you. Scar. I didn't need Luthor.
Uh-huh.
Scarlet paused for a moment and said, You're my hero, Sol. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, this guy will never freaking get old, like...
Sol seemed pleased as he turned his attention back to Luthor and smirked. Sol seemed pleased as he turned his attention back to Luthor and smirked. His smirk faded as he laid eyes on the glowing flag in Luthor's hand. He crossed his arms and said, I guess you were all talk, Luthor. You still killed when you had to.
Nope.
I didn't kill anyone. I took this flag from someone when it was already glowing.
Haha. Yes, exactly. You don't have to be a freaking crazy psychopathic murderer to get your freaking stuff in life.
Sol's eyes widened and said, Wait, the glow still lasts even if we're not the ones who killed someone for it? It worked for me. But I suppose it's harder to take away a glowing flag since it most likely means that participant killed someone else.
Okay, he didn't know, but still, like, that doesn't mean you, like, at least try before murdering people. Like, oh my gosh.
Sol tore at his hair, pulling some of it out with his hand as he said, "The High Maid should have told us that more clearly."
Yeah, well, look between the lines next time.
He gulped and looked scared for a moment. He squeezed his eyes shut for a bit before he turned his head towards the spot where he set the participant with 3 legs on fire.
At least he seems, like, apologetic for his actions, at least a little.
He saw the charred remains of a person and dropped to his knees, digging his hands into the sand and shaking
Yeah.
uncontrollably. He said, "It's not fair. If I had known we could take away someone else's glowing flag, I would have done that."
I mean, at least he's kind of regretting his actions.
Scarlet rushed to her brother and embraced him. Sol's eyes widened as the flag from his sister's hand teleported into his. He broke away from Scarlet's embrace and said, "I told you to kill someone, Scar. Now we still only have 1 flag between us. This is..." He broke away from Scarlet's embrace and said, "I told you to kill someone, Scar. Now we still only have 1 flag between us. This is your fault."
Oh my gosh, this guy! This guy! He just can't, like, friggin' understand when he does wrong stuff, like...
Sol turned again to Luthor and said, "Give me your flag, Luthor. You didn't kill..." He saw the Sol's eyes widened. He broke away from Scarlet. Sol turned again to Luthor and said, "Give me your flag, Luthor. You didn't kill anyone. You don't deserve to be here."
Yeah, totally.
Levitas. The flag in Sol's hand flew up into the air. Levitas Magnus, like air. Luthor changed into a gust of air and blew the floating flag away from Sol and Scarlet. Luthor caught the flag when he changed back, getting his flag count up to 2 again.
Oh my gosh, that's actually such power play.
Sol's mouth dropped open. He tore at his hair again and shouted, "I'm going to kill you, Luthor Timecrest."
I'm sorry, this is actually kind of funny. Okay, I kind of feel bad for Saul on some level, but still, like, you freaking killed people.
Scarlet ran in between Luthor and Sol and said, "No, Sol. Luthor is Miss Lena's son." Sol pushed Scarlet out of the way and said, "So what? Miss Lena, Reed, Timecrest, whatever her name is now, she's just a no-good traitor that left us. I'm going to kill her son to pay her back for hurting us."
That's horrific. Don't ever do that to someone who you liked before. Wow.
Scarlet looked horrified, but she didn't stop Sol as he charged past her towards Luthor.
Are you kidding me? Scarlet, no! You were doing so well. You were such a nice person. Stop your psychopathic brother.
Sol said, "Incendiatus Magnus, flamethrower."
No.
Fire started spewing from Sol's hand. Levitas. 2 other participants, a man and a woman, ran in between Luthor and Sol.
Oh my gosh.
The woman, with long braided hair, pointed her arm at Sol and said, "Levitas Mulir Magnus, lacerating gale." After a while, cuts appeared on the woman's arm as slices of wind ejected from her arm. Sol screamed as he got blown back, most of his top shredding off,
Oh my
and numerous
gosh.
bleeding cuts appearing on his body.
Ow.
The man, who had his hair tied back in a short ponytail, looked at Luthor and said, "Praise the first, we finally found you in this giant dust bowl, Luthor." The man, who had his hair tied back in a short ponytail, looked at Luthor and said, "Praise the first, we finally found you in this giant dust bowl, Luthor. Name's Tristan." He looked at the woman who attacked Sol and smiled before saying, "My ambitious, amazing and lovely girlfriend is called Amelia."
Okay, well, these people seem nice. Like, they're not killing people for starters, and also, I don't know, they appeared and saved Luthor.
Amelia said, "Are you okay, Luthor?" Luthor looked at Amelia's bleeding arm and the flag in her other hand. "Why did you hurt yourself to defend me?" Amelia said, "Tristan and I have family and friends who are training to participate in these trials as we speak." Amelia said, "We can keep them safe if we help you in." Tristan said, "I entered because of Amelia, so I'm doing whatever she wants."
Okay, that is fair. That, like, I don't know, at least people actually want to help. Like, I actually wasn't expecting people to want to help Luthor at all. So I'm actually so glad that these people want to help. Maybe Luthor actually has a chance of getting through these trials.
Tristan picked up Amelia's injured arm. He said, "Fleur." Amelia said, "Wait, Tristan. My arm is fine. Amelia said, "Wait, Tristan. My arm is fine. I'm used to firing off more spells before it starts bothering me." Tristan smiled before he said, "Fleur Magnus, absorb pain." Amelia shook her head as the cuts disappeared from her arm and appeared on Tristan's arm. The wounds that appeared on Tristan's arm looks less severe than they were on Amelia's arm.
Oh my, that is actually such a cool power. Oh my gosh.
A flare-based spell. Not many people know one of those these days since the Emerald Dragons have died out. How did you learn it? Tristan smiled and said, I sort of inherited this one. A lot of my Tristan smiled and said, I sort of inherited this one. A lot of my ancestors were healers apparently. Tristan said, I wish flare spells could be leveled up like regular spells, but I'm still grateful for the one I have. I think the main reason Valder gave me a chance to participate in these trials is because I have a rare spell.
I mean, that's, at least you got a chance, I guess. I mean, I don't know if this is, exactly, you know, worth it, but, you know.
Amelia sighed as she looked at the wounds on Tristan's arm. She said, even if your spells lessen the severity of the wounds that are transferred to you, I don't like it when you get hurt, Tristan, especially if it's because of me. Tristan said, you're the only one I would use this spell on, Amelia. Luthor looked away as they kissed. System message, Luthor is waiting. Why can't flare spells be leveled up like regular spells? One of what about Mocha? Luthor. 2 of you should watch Amelia and Tristan kiss. Luthor. Might learn something. 3 of 4 responses. Say nothing. What about Mocha? Luthor. 2 of
Yeah, what about Morka? What happened to him?
what about Mocha? Luthor. Responded. Luthor shook his head and murmured. Descriptive help. Luthor shook his head and murmured. Descriptive help. I don't know how he is. If I try to find him now, Saul will follow me and probably try to finish him off.
That is fair.
Hopefully he woke up and got himself somewhere safe.
Yeah, that would be good, you know?
Saul shouted, Luthor, you coward. Are you going to hide behind other people? Fight me man to man.
Saul, just go away. Go eat a friggin' tub of bananas or something.
Luthor looked over in Saul's direction. Luthor looked over in Saul's direction. Scarlet helped Saul to his feet. She looked worried as Saul's wounds bled over her hand.
Oh my gosh.
Amelia glanced at Luthor's glowing flag. She said, did you kill someone, Luthor? No. The flag... Amelia... No. The flag was already glowing when I took it. Amelia nodded and held out her hand holding the flag. She said, good. I'm going to kill that boy who wants to fight you and get the enchantment for this flag. Then I'm going to give it to you.
Okay. Saul is the meanest person ever, but maybe killing him is a bit far, you know? Yeah.
Tristan said with a solemn expression, it was good that you managed to get a glowing flag, Luthor. Amelia and I saw a lot of flags transferring hands when we were trying to find you, but I think the participants have thinned out a lot by now.
That's dark. That's dark and comforting at the same time, I guess.
Saul shouted, are you going to hide behind those 2 bastards the whole night, Luthor? Amelia raised her arm towards Saul. Luthor dashed in front of her. Don't kill him. Amelia paused before she said, I can't really control how much damage my magic does, even to my own arm. Besides, once your flag stops glowing, we could lose both our flags if I don't kill someone now.
Cool and all, but like, well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Tristan said, I know you don't want to kill, Luthor, but Amelia is offering to do it for you. You should be thanking her for getting rid of the boy who's dead set on killing you. Luthor sighed and looked up at all the vision mirrors. We can't see what the vision mirrors are broadcasting, but I'm sure they are showing participants who are fighting and dying. Those 2 with the red hair mean a lot to someone I love.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, that's a fair... You know, I don't think it'd be very good if, yeah, if they died then, you know? That would be kind of
I know she would be
traumatic.
heartbroken if she witnesses one, or both, of them die in front of her. Tristan looked at Luthor. Tristan nodded with a sigh and said, I get it. I understand not wanting to cause someone you love any sadness. The glow from Luthor's flag faded.
That's not good.
Luthor still held 2 flags. Luthor still held 2 flags. Amelia held one.
That's a
Amelia
lot.
frowned and said, any one of our flags could teleport away at any moment now. We need to get you another glowing flag somehow, Luthor.
Maybe, I don't know though, like, they'll probably have to take one because killing people,
Tristan looked up at the vision mirror broadcasting Val Elder. The High Mage is stroking his chin. Tristan said, the High Mage is stroking his chin. I really hope that's a sign he's going to call the end of the match.
That would be very helpful.
Luthor turned to Amelia. Let's go find other participants. I got flags without killing people and I can do it again. Amelia nodded in agreement. Tristan said, or, the High Mage could call the end of the match. Tristan's shoulders slumped when his wish didn't come true. He kicked the sand and said, hasn't he seen enough?
Yeah, like, if the participants have really thinned out that much, like, what's the delay?
Scarlet is running towards Luthor. Amelia pushed Luthor out of the way as she pointed her arm at Scarlet, who continued to charge forward. Amelia said, Levitas Melior. Luthor grabbed onto Amelia's arm and pushed it upwards. Amelia said, what are you doing, Luthor? Amelia said, what are you doing, Luthor?
Preventing you from killing a good person.
I don't care. I'm not going to let them be killed. Scarlet neared and said, Incendiatus Magnus, precision point. The tip of Scarlet's finger began to steam and glow more brilliantly than the rest of her hand. She avoided hitting Luthor while she directed her finger at Amelia's hand that held a flag. Amelia screamed as Scarlet poked a bloody hole into her hand.
Oh my god!
Scarlet pulled at the flag in Amelia's hand. Tristan said, Amelia. Tristan charged at Scarlet from behind, but Scarlet quickly turned around, sensing someone coming and poked her finger at his shoulder, creating a bloody hole.
Ow! Oh my gosh, that sounds so painful. I mean, okay, at least she isn't killing them, but like, ow, stop, please.
Tristan covered his shoulder and yelped in pain.
Oh my gosh.
Saul said, Scar, hit Luthor. Take that bastard's flag.
No, don't. Please, Scarlet, please.
Scarlet aimed for Amelia again. Scarlet aimed for Amelia again. Amelia pointed her arm at Scarlet. Luthor grabbed onto Scarlet and said, Gravitas summitus, calcium pur.
Guys, I'm so confused. I don't know whose side to be on. I'm on Luthor's side, but like otherwise, like I don't want Scarlet to kill anyone. And I don't want the others to kill anyone. But Scarlet's like being like, I don't know, guys. I don't know whose side to be on at this point. Like, Tristan and Amelia seem nice, but they keep trying to kill people.
Scarlet's legs instantly broke. Saul looked horrified as his sister screamed and crumpled to the ground.
Oh my gosh. Ow, oh my gosh, Luthor.
Luthor looked at Amelia. I'll disable Saul and Scarlet from fighting us, but we need to get them to a safe spot so they don't get killed. Amelia blinked and lowered her arm. Amelia blinked and lowered her arm. She swallowed hard and said, You have a summitus level spell. Tristan still groaned in pain, but he made his way to Amelia and examined her hand. Tristan started making his way to Scarlet. Tristan started making his way to Scarlet. Amelia raised her hand and stopped him. What are you thinking of doing, Tristan? Tristan looked at Luthor and shook his hand. He said, I want to stomp on that girl's hand for hurting Amelia.
Ow, yeah.
Amelia said, leave her be.
Yeah.
She's not. Amelia said, leave her be. She's not fighting back anymore. Besides, she's already in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Tristan closed his eyes for a moment before he said, fine. If that's what you want. Tristan closed his eyes for a moment before he said, fine. If that's what you want, Leah. Tristan snarled at Luthor before he said, and you, Luthor, apologize to Amelia now. Luthor looked at Amelia. Hey Amelia, I'm sorry that my actions got you hurt.
Okay.
Amelia smiled and said, it's okay. I understand. Amelia smiled and said, it's okay. I understand. If my spell had hit the girl as close as she was, it would have done some serious damage, maybe even killed her right there.
Oh my gosh.
Luthor knelt beside Scarlet. I can't let you take my flags, Scarlet. I'll repair your bones after Val Elder calls the end of this round. Tristan said, say, Luthor, how old are you? 13. Tristan's eyes widened as he said, well, that's young. Given how good your spells are, I thought maybe you only looked young. Tristan shook his head and said, you're certainly the youngest person I met to have a summitus level spell. Heck. Tristan shook his head and said, you're certainly the youngest person I met to have a summitus level spell. Heck. You're the only person that I met who has a summitus spell unless maybe High Mage Val Elder knows one. What does your summitus spell do, Luthor?
I mean, this is a great time for small talk, guys, right?
I can make someone's bones stronger, heavier or more brittle if I touch them. But I can only manipulate a certain set of bones in the body right now. Arms, legs and skull. I avoid the skull. Amelia arched her brow and said, you could easily kill someone with a skill like that.
Yeah, but it's the question of do you want to kill people, you know?
Luthor clenched his fists. Saul came charging at Luthor as he shouted, oh, what did you do to my sister?
Nothing much, Saul. She's not dead. Be thankful that she's not dead.
Levitas Magnus, like air. Luthor faded into a gust of air. Luthor faded into a gust of air, appearing behind Saul. Gravitas summitus, calcium pur. Saul's legs broke and he went down hollering all sorts of obscenities. Amelia and Tristan watched in awe of Luthor's combo. Tristan shook his head and said, Levitas and Gravitas. It's amazing you have pretty high-level spells in 2 elements. Tristan said, and it seems like you're friends with Princess Riley Valder, ellipsis. Tristan said, just who are you, Luthor Timecrest?
A great person.
Saul coughed and said, he's just a nobody I'm going to beat. Saul pushed himself up from the sand and said, Saul Ignis. That's the name you should remember. Sand clung to the wounds on Saul's body. He raised his hand at Luthor and said, Incendiatus Magnus, flamethrower. After a short delay, tiny flames sputtered out of his hand. Saul coughed uncontrollably before collapsing face first into the sand.
Oh no.
Scarlet groaned as she propped herself up and said, Brother, you're at your limit. Please don't hurt yourself more. Scarlet groaned as she propped herself up and said, Brother, you're at your limit. Please don't hurt yourself more. Let's just stop. It's not worth it. Ellipsis.
Yeah. Stop, please.
Her hands started glowing and Scarlet tried to shift her body towards Saul, but winced as pain washed over her again.
Oh no.
Scarlet passed out.
Oh no.
Saul said into the sand, I am going to kill you, Luthor. I'm going to kill you all and win.
Well, good for you.
Amelia looked down at Saul and said, Your sister is right. You look like you're at death's door. Just give up. Saul looked up at Amelia and spat at her. He said, I'm going to beat you up after I get flags from me and my sister from that nobody who thinks he's better than all of us.
And how exactly are you gonna do that?
Amelia said, Do you sure you don't want me to kill this one, Luthor?
Sad times. Saul, I don't know. He's really, really dislikable.
We need to take these two to the edge of the arena and make them look dead. Amelia took another look at Scarlet and Saul and said, That shouldn't be hard. They both look pretty dead already. Saul propped himself up with his arms and said, Screw you, Luthor. The only things I need from you are those 2 flags you have. Luthor friend as Saul continued to struggle to get up. The muscles in Saul's arms flexed, and his teeth clamped over his bottom lip as he pushed himself up. Everyone else looked on in surprise as Saul stood on his fractured legs.
That sounds like one of the most painful... Oh my gosh. Imagine standing on freaking fractured bones. That actually sounds so painful. Okay, this guy, he is horrible, but, you know, he has strength, I guess.
Saul, his voice hoarse and cracking, said, You took away Miss Lena.
It wasn't his fault.
He glared at Luthor and said, You hurt my sister.
Miss Lena or whatever, she went of her own accord. It wasn't Luthor's fault, for goodness sake. And also, yeah, he didn't kill your sister. He only hurt her temporarily.
Saul said, At least have the courage to fight me instead of hiding behind other people. Saul took a few steps towards Luthor before he collapsed face first into the sand again. He coughed and started crawling his way to Luthor.
How is he even doing this stuff, guys? Like, how did he even freaking manage to walk? Oh my gosh, okay.
System message. I hate that Saul is coming after you. I wouldn't think less of you if you asked Amelia to get rid of them for you. Anyway, whatever you decide, I'm on your side. 1 of 3 responses.
Okay, maybe not that, maybe.
I didn't think you were going to break Scarlet and Saul's legs. Don't you think that's a bit too drastic? Scarlet wasn't even trying to hit you. 2 of 3.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
Say nothing.
I might say nothing because, I don't know, like, I don't really, like, I don't want to kill Saul much. Not, you know, there's a certain part of me that, you know, does, but, you know, a fair amount of me doesn't. Kind of. And then, I don't know, I feel like it was the only measure that, like, Luthor could really take. I don't know what else he could have done, so I'll say nothing, I guess.
I didn't think. I hate that. I didn't. Say, the script. Say nothing. Say nothing.
Okay.
3 of 3 responses. Message. Responded. Say nothing. Descriptive. Responded.
I'm actually curious to see what happens next. I did not expect these trials to be so lax. I don't even know. Like, nothing's happening.
Luthor looked down at his flags. Luthor looked down at his flags. They both teleported away, leaving his clenched fists empty.
That's not good.
Luthor's eyes shot up to the vision mirror broadcasting Val Elder. He is smiling, but continues to watch on. Luthor squeezed his empty fists. I need a flag fast. 2 females dressed in armor approached the group. Tristan gulped when he saw them and said, What are you 2 Valdorian mages doing here?
Plot twist?
Descriptive. Tristan gulped when he saw one of the Valdorian mages, with blonde hair tied back in a ponytail, said, You weren't paying attention. High Mage Val Elder mentioned there would be a surprise. We're the surprise. My name is Beatrix of the Valdorian Mage Army. Copper rank.
Weird surprise.
Luthor frowned as he saw 4 glowing flags in Beatrix's hand.
That also is not good. She killed 4 people. Or at least she took 1 glowing flag from people, but she killed 4 people. Oh my gosh.
Beatrix glanced at the group and eyed the 1 flag in Amelia's hand. Beatrix looked at Amelia and said, Make it easy on yourself and just give me your flag. If you're already part of the Valdorian army, you're not here just to take the flag. You're here to kill all of us. Beatrix said, we're a crucial part of the test. If none of you can beat 2 lowest ranked mages in the Valdorian army, then you don't deserve to be in it. Amelia and Tristan both looked bitterly at Beatrix and her partner. With great effort, Saul attempted to shift his body so he could see the 2 Valdorian mages better. Luthor inched closer to the Valdorian mages. Descriptive help. Luthor inched closer to the Valdorian mages.
You're planning to, like, snatch a flag?
Standing next to Beatrix, her partner is clasping her hands tightly together and focusing her gaze exclusively at the ground. Her skin is glistening with sweat and her short, dark hair is matted down. Descriptive help button. Standing next to Beatrix, Beatrix put one arm around her partner and said, come on, Kaylee. I need you. These 5 are the last participants left. Just remember what I said. Close your eyes and imagine the audience as Muffies and I'll do the rest. Descriptive help. Beatrix put one descriptive help button. Beatrix put one arm around her descriptive help. Kaylee gulped and said, Muffies, ellipsis, yeah. I'm not scared of what Muffies think of me. Muffies can't think at all. That's why they keep running into things. She wiped the sweat off her forehead and pressed her hand against her heart and took several deep breaths.
Okay, so I'm guessing she's nervous or something?
Luthor inched closer to the 2.
Yes.
Beatrix grabbed Kaylee's arm and the 2 stepped backwards. Luthor inched closer.
Well, okay, come on, Luthor.
Beatrix and Kaylee took another step back.
This isn't good.
Luthor paused and frowned. You've been observing us. Beatrix smirked and said, especially you, Luthor.
Well, sure. Okay.
Descriptive help. Beatrix smirked and...
This isn't good then. I don't know what we're supposed to do. Like, how are we supposed to get the flags back?
She looked past Luthor at Saul, Scarlet, Amelia and Tristan before she said, the spells we've seen from you are quite impressive compared to any other participant here. But don't think you'll get close enough to us to land your combo. Saul shouted, just to watch. I'm going to beat you both. A hacking cough overcame Saul as soon as he shouted that. Beatrix and Kaylee joined hands. Kaylee closed her eyes and Beatrix said, Duo cast, Incendiatus Miller Magnus, best friend bullets. 5 bullets formed around Beatrix and Kaylee and headed straight for Luthor.
Oh my god.
Levitus Magnus, like air. The bullets passed straight through Luthor as he changed into a gust of air. Luthor charged at Beatrix and Kaylee in wind form, but he changed back before he could reach them.
Oh no.
Behind him, Luthor could hear Tristan scream, Amelia, watch out. Luthor's eyes widened as Beatrix's face broke into a smile. They're homing bullets.
Oh no, Amelia, for goodness sake. No, get out of the
help
way.
Button. Pocket. Luthor whirled around as the bullet. They're homing bullets. Luthor whirled around as the bullet wave that passed through him headed towards Amelia. She dropped to the ground and dodged the wave.
Oh, thank God. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Okay.
Luthor shouted. Behind you, Amelia. She can't. Behind you, Amelia. She can control the bullets.
No, they can't. Oh my gosh.
Amelia rolled around on the ground and raised her arm in the direction behind her. But Beatrix's smile widened as she had already manipulated the bullets to swerve around and take a dive downwards, hitting Amelia before she could blow them away with her spell.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, no!
Tristan rushed to Amelia, picking her up in his arms. Tristan caressed her face and said, Amelia, ellipsis. Amelia groaned as a pool of blood formed underneath her.
Oh no!
She said, Tristan, run. Save yourself. Tears streamed down Tristan's face. Tears streamed down Tristan's face. He closed his eyes before opening them again and said, Don't worry. Everything is going to be okay, my darling. Amelia reached her hand up weakly and covered his mouth, shaking her head slightly. Amelia reached her hand up weakly and covered his mouth, shaking her head slightly. She said, Don't say it, ellipsis. He took her hand off his mouth and kissed it before he said, I love you so much, Amelia. Fleur Magnus, absorb pain.
Oh no, now he's gonna be hurt.
Amelia looked on in horror as all the bullet wounds she received started fading and appearing on Tristan.
Oh my gosh.
After the transfer completed, Tristan toppled over. Amelia helped him into a lying position and placed his head on her lap.
Oh no.
Amelia's hands shook violently as she tried to pressing them over Tristan's bleeding wounds, but there were too many. She said,
no.
You idiot. My wounds were too much for you this time, Tristan.
Oh no, oh my gosh, no! Don't tell me he's actually gonna die!
After the transfer, Amelia's hands shook violently as Tristan smiled up at Amelia and said, I'm sorry I signed up for the mage trials without telling you. I just wanted to be by your side. A tear trickled down his face as he said, Amelia, I'm afraid, ellipsis. Amelia sobbed and said, Don't talk. Just... Tristan stopped moving.
Guys, this went so wrong. I can't... He is not dead. There is no way. He's not... No.
Amelia blinked down at Tristan with an expression of shock. She started shaking him as she said, "Wake up. Wake up. Please." Ellipsis. "Tristan, you can't be dead. Who am I going to have my evening walks with? Who is going to laugh at my stupid jokes?"
Oh no!
Luthor swallowed hard as the flag in Amelia's hand teleported away. Beatrix smiled triumphantly as she looked down at the 5 flags in her hand. She pumped her fist holding all 5 flags into the air and looked up at the vision mirror broadcasting Val Elidor. Val Elidor continued to watch without ending the match. Beatrix furrowed her brows. Beatrix glanced over at Luthor and said, "I guess the High Mage really does want us to kill all of you." Beatrix glanced over at Luthor and said, "I guess the High Mage really does want us to kill all of you. That's too bad. I don't like hurting kids, Luthor, but I love my job in the army." Luthor squeezed his eyes shut. After a moment, he opened them and looked at Kaylee. "Hey, Kaylee, the vision mirrors are all broadcasting you right now."
That is such a smart decision. Oh my gosh, that's such a smart thing to. Oh, yes!
Kaylee didn't respond, but her eyelids squeezed tighter. Beatrix said, "Don't listen to him, Kaylee. He's lying. Remember, all the vision mirrors are facing the audience, so Luthor can't even see what they are broadcasting. You said we were the only participants left. What else could they be broadcasting?" Kaylee gulped and her lips began to tremble. Beatrix squeezed Kaylee's hand and said, "Shut up, you. Dual cast, Incendiatus Miller Magnus, best friend bullets."
No, not again.
Fire bullets formed around Beatrix and Kaylee, but instead of shooting out towards Luthor, the bullets dispersed in random directions, hitting nothing.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness. Oh, that's actually working so well. Yeah, keep doing that.
Beatrix frowned and said, "Kaylee, concentrate. We're going to be kicked out of the army if we lose. All your superiors are watching your performance right now, Kaylee." High Mage Val Elidor. Kaylee trembled harder. Beatrix said, "Shut up, Luthor Timecrest. You're lucky the High Mage hasn't called the end of the match yet." Beatrix squeezed Kaylee's hand and said, "Kaylee, don't listen to him. Remember, Muffies. The audience are nothing more than Muffies." Luthor dug his nail into his palm. "King Janos is watching." Sol chatted, "Yeah, and you have a giant nose hair, Kaylee. If I can't see it, imagine what it looks like to King Janos magnified by the vision mirrors." Kaylee squealed and her eyes popped open. She tore her hand away from Beatrix and covered her nose, her face bright red. Amelia kissed Tristan, setting him down gently before she rose and pointed her arm at Beatrix and Kaylee. She said, "Levitas Miller Magnus, lacerating gale."
Okay. I know what I said before about not killing people, but these people are just freaking murderers. Like, they literally murdered.
Levitas Magnus, like air. Luthor changed into a gust of wind and closed the distance between him and the Valdorian mages. Amelia's gale soared towards them. Beatrix grunted as she pushed Kaylee to the ground and then dashed away herself to avoid Amelia's attack. Beatrix turned to her partner and yelled, "Kaylee, move." Levitas Magnus, like air. Luthor appeared behind Kaylee and touched her. Gravitas summitis, calcium pur. Kaylee screamed as her arms broke. Amelia walked towards Beatrix and said, "Good job, Luthor. Thanks to you, I can't get my revenge." Saul said, "What? That was all me. Didn't you hear me call out that woman's nose hair? She fell for it too." Luthor looked at Amelia.
Not a very smart thing to say, Saul. She can hear you.
"Amelia, I'm sorry about Tristan. If you two hadn't helped me." Ellipsis. Amelia stopped walking. She paused before she said, "You know those two would have come after us anyways." She burst into tears.
Oh no.
She covered her mouth and tried to suppress her sobs, but it was no use. Through her sobs she said, "I wish Tristan didn't see me crying before he died. It always made him sad when I cried."
Oh, I hate this. This is actually so sad.
Luthor opened his mouth, but closed it again. He shook his head as he dug one nail into his palm. System message. "This isn't your fault, Luthor. Amelia and Tristan chose to be in these trials. They knew the risks. Tell Amelia that Tristan seemed like a really nice person and that you're grateful for his help. 2. Say nothing. This
I don't know.
Tell Amelia that Tristan seemed... This isn't your fault.
I'll say this isn't your fault because, I don't know. Because it isn't. It isn't Luther's fault. They did choose to help him. But, I just feel so bad because, Tristan ended up dying. It's just so... They're just so sad, guys. They seem so happy as well.
Responded. Luthor took a deep breath and nodded. He murmured, "I know I just met them. It's just hard to watch."
It is, literally.
Luthor paused. "But thanks for your words. Amelia continued to advance towards Beatrix. Beatrix looks panicked. Beatrix looks panicked. She said, Kaylee, hurry up. Come to me or that woman is going to kill me. Kaylee whimpered and panicked and made no move towards Beatrix. Beatrix said, Kaylee, come to me. Amelia said, does it matter? Your partner's arms are busted. Beatrix held up her hand and said, wait. She eyed the 5 flags in her hand. Only 2 flags glowed. Beatrix held out one of the glowing flags towards Amelia and said, take this. You can. Beatrix held out one of the glowing flags towards Amelia and said, take this. You can advance to the next round.
That...
Amelia eyed the flag and took it. Beatrix smiled and said, let's work together.
Huh?
If we kill the rest, the spot in the Valdorian army is yours for sure.
Oh,
Amelia.
really?
Beatrix smiled and said, let's work together. If we kill the rest, the spot in the Valdorian army is yours for sure.
No.
Amelia. The pay is really good.
No, don't.
Amelia pointed
will
her
not.
arm at Beatrix's face.
Yeah.
Beatrix said, what are you doing? I gave you a flag.
Yeah, and you killed her freaking, like, boyfriend or whatever.
Amelia said, the only reason I would want a spot in the Valdorian army now is so I could get close to you to kill you. But I already have that chance now. Beatrix started to back away from Amelia as she said, you're crazy. You're not thinking clearly. You could win if you just stop.
Oh, really? Well, I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure if she should kill her or not, but, like, she freaking killed her, like, freaking love. Like, oh my gosh.
Amelia said, I bet the reason High Mage Valalator didn't call the end of the round when you have all 5 flags is because he wants you two to die too. Beatrix shook her head and said, that's not true. Amelia said, you know what makes me sick? I'm probably doing Valder a favor by killing the 2 of you. Levitus Miller Magnus, lacerating Gale. Beatrix's expression turned to horror as she tried to run, her legs trembling and clumsy. Amelia's point-blank shot caught up with her quickly, tearing Beatrix's back to shreds.
Oh my gosh.
Kaylee looked horrified as Beatrix fell over. Kaylee looked horrified as Beatrix fell over. She screamed, dropped to her knees and squeezed her eyes shut. Amelia walked over to Luthor and held out her glowing flag. She said, I wish Tristan and I met you before we entered these wretched trials. Maybe, ellipsis, maybe if you and Tristan worked together, you two could have convinced my stubborn head out of it. Amelia pressed the glowing flag in Luthor's hand as she said, win, Luthor, so no one else has to die in these wretched trials. Beatrix writhed a little before she tried to crawl away. Beatrix writhed a little before she tried to crawl away. Amelia walked back and pointed her already torn and bleeding arm at Beatrix's head. Luthor turned his head away as he heard Amelia say, Levitus Miller Magnus, lacerating Gale. 1 flag from Beatrix's hand teleported into Amelia's. Amelia tossed it to the ground and spat on it. Sol eyed the flag and crawled towards it, wincing with each movement. Amelia kicked the flag further away from Sol. Sol shouted, you bitch.
Huh.
Scarlet grunted in the distance as she woke up. Sol said, Scarlet, use your summit to spell. Hurry. Scarlet's hands and feet started glowing red as she gulped and said, what happened, Sol? Are you... Scarlet's hands and feet started glowing red as she gulped and said, what happened, Sol? Are you okay? Sol said, use your summit to spell now. Scarlet said, I can't. No. Sol said, there's no time. Scarlet, what if the trial ends? We have no flags. Use Fatal Fever now.
Fatal Fever? Sounds kind of fatal. I don't know. This is probably not good.
Amelia, making her way toward Kaylee, stopped and turned to Scarlet. She said, Luthor, that boy's claiming his sister has a summit to spell.
Or don't kill her though, but like, Scarlet, don't do it. Scarlet won't do it, right? Right? She's a nice person. Don't do it, Scarlet.
I'm not going to let you kill them no matter what, Amelia. Amelia looked at Luthor with hesitation. Sol said, Scarlet, you promised me. Sol said, Scarlet, you promised me. You promised you would do anything to help me win. Sol paused. He shouted, I need your help, Scar. Scarlet clutched her chest, an indescribable expression of torture on her face.
No, don't do it, Scarlet, don't do it.
Scarlet screamed as she dug both her feet and her hands into the sand, as deep as she could get her broken legs to go. Scarlet said, Incendiatus Summitus, Fatal Fever.
What is this spell gonna do? Oh my...
She said, Luthor, run. A large radius around Scarlet glowed blue. All bodies alive or dead inside this radius glowed blue as well. Sol said, die, Luthor. Sol said, die, Luthor. Incendiatus Melior Magnus, heat armor. Luthor is shivering and glowing blue too. Amelia fell to the ground in the distance.
Luthor, oh my gosh, no, Luthor, get out of the way!
Luthor turned to Scarlet, his movements incredibly slow.
Get out!
Levitus Magnus, up. Sol, who had been limping towards Luthor all this time, let out a battle cry and lunged. Sol punched Luthor before he could cast upstream and the two rolled in the sand.
No!
Sol howled in pain as his broken legs bent in an awkward angle.
No, 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 guys, this is going so wrong!
Sol collapsed on top of Luthor and said, "Now you die, Luthor."
No, no.
Luthor began to freeze solid. His eyelids drooped closed. He tried to push Sol off of him, but didn't have enough strength.
Oh my... Move, you freaking block of... I don't even know. Get off him, Sol, you... Oh my god!
Scarlet, stop this. You don't want to... Scarlet, stop this. You don't want to do this. Luthor's words came out barely a whisper. Sol laughed on top of him and said, "Did you say something, Luthor?" With a triumphant expression, Sol said, "Just so you know, she can't stop this spell once it's begun. Scarlet will suck away everyone's body heat before you all burn."
Guys, this... How is... I don't think there's a way out of this. Like, what? I don't know, guys. This is... No.
A translucent red sphere appeared in front of Scarlet, lighting up her tear-streaked face.
Oh no. Oh no.
Sol rolled off of Luthor with a smile and said, "I don't want to become your cover for this." The translucent red sphere expanded around Scarlet, setting all the bodies it glided over on fire.
No.
The sphere expanded to encompass Sol, but as it lit Sol on fire, Sol just smiled as if he didn't seem to mind. The sphere is about to reach Luthor.
No. Oh my gosh, no, guys. Is this really how this is gonna end?
Luthor's breathing slowed and he couldn't move. Luthor's breathing slowed and he couldn't move. A round object appeared between him and the expanding sphere. Model 1?
Model 1! Oh my gosh, Model 1! Oh my gosh.
A gelatinous substance surrounded Model 1 that molded into a humanoid shape. No, Ellipsis. That was you up in the sky. Model 1, don't. Everyone's watching. Ellipsis. Just go away. Ellipsis. Model 1 picked up Luthor and ran with Luthor towards the edge of the arena.
Oh my gosh, Model... Thank you! Oh my gosh!
The sphere set Amelia and Kaylee on fire. Walker's lifeless form became engulfed in flame in the distance. Soon 3 flags teleported into Scarlet's hand. The vision mirror broadcasting Val Elidor went blank as he phased above the arena. Scarlet groaned as she crawled her way to Sol, her legs leaving a trail of blood. She neared Sol and held out a flag to him. Her brother paid her no heed as he continued to look at Luthor. Sol said, "He got away. That coward got away." He groaned and passed out. Scarlet said, "Sol." She pressed the flag into her brother's hand. Val Elidor said, "This round is over." Scarlet inhaled deeply. The air is heavy from all of the burning bodies. She covered her nose and hurled before passing out.
No, the clapping. The clapping. No, not the clapping, guys. Like, a bunch of people just died.
Model 1 set Luthor on the ground and shielded him from the sight of the arena. Luthor looked stunned and horrified.
Oh my gosh, Model 1 is so nice. He just saved Luthor's life. Oh my gosh, guys. I was not expecting this.
System message. No. Luthor, are you okay? Cover your nose and block out the smell. 1 of 3. I think Mocha is dead. Luthor. 2. Say nothing. No. Luthor.
I'll say the
no.
first one.
Luthor, are you okay? Cover your nose and block out the smell. Responded, no. Luthor still looked stunned, but he covered his nose and mouth with his hand. He squeezed his face harshly with his hand. Descriptive. He squeezed his face harshly with his hand. Descriptive help button. Specific. He squeezed his face. Luthor glanced behind him. His parents are both pressing themselves against the barrier that separates the viewing platforms from the arena.
Oh my gosh.
Descriptive help. Luthor glanced behind him. His parents are both... Julius is watching Luthor with great sadness as he held a crying Ash. The viewing platform is still a distance above him, but Luthor could hear Ash's wailing in his head. Descriptive help button. Helena pounded on the barrier, tears streaking down her face. Her mouth moved, but Luthor couldn't make out what his mum was saying. Luthor looked up at Model 1, who hovered over Luthor protectively. Luthor is recovering from Scarlet's spell. Descriptive. Why did you do that, Model 1? They are going to take you away.
That better not happen, guys. Model 1 is so, like, he's just genuinely a decent robot. Like, he saved Luthor's life.
Model 1 said, I can't let you die, Luthor. Besides, now you don't have to worry about shutting me down.
Oh no.
Luthor's eyes widened and he shook his head. Val Ellider teleported behind Model 1. He raised his hand at Model 1.
Oh my gosh, no! No, he just saved Luther's life! No! Guys, this can't
Run,
happen!
Model 1. I order you to run away. Wait, please don't take Model 1 away. Val Ellider said, you are only permitted to keep a basic model, with only companion mode and nothing more. This robot is equipped with advanced technology. I got the gelatine from the Alra portal.
Yeah!
Valdorian soldiers let me keep it.
Exactly!
Val Ellider frowned and said, then the soldiers who let you keep this shall be punished.
Oh my gosh, no! They can't take Model 1 away! No!
Descriptive help. Val Ellider frowned and said, then the soldiers who let you keep this shall be punished. Descriptive help. Button. Val Ellider frowned and said, Val Ellider said, besides, this robot clearly has disobeyed your orders. You told it to run, yet it is still here. Val Ellider said, besides, this robot clearly has disobeyed your orders. You told it to run, yet it is still here. What kind of advanced modifications did you give this robot, Luthor? Whatever they are, they allowed this robot to get inside the arena without being detected. You think I'm going to let you keep something like this? Luthor swallowed hard. Model 1 placed one gelatinous hand on Luthor's head and said, I feel so good that you activated the pocket watch, Luthor. You have a real friend to talk to now instead of just some robot who doesn't make you happy. Model 1 said,
no.
I'm sorry, Luthor, for disobeying you again. Model 1 started phasing away. Luthor grabbed for Model 1, but his hands passed through as Model 1 disappeared. I do consider you a friend, Model 1. You are my only friend. Luthor lunged at Val Ellider. Val Ellider evaded by floating higher. Luthor lunged at Val Ellider. Val Ellider evaded by floating higher. Luthor fell to his knees. Give my friend back. Give him back. Val Ellider said, you will never see that robot again. If I win these trials, you don't have to make future trials safer. Val Ellider eyed Luthor. You don't? Luthor took a deep breath. You don't have to tell me how I can contact the time manipulator. Luthor looked up at Val Ellider. Just give me back Model 1. Val Ellider paused before he said, I thought you were smart, Luthor, but how come you still haven't figured out that you've lost already? Luthor held up the glowing flag that Amelia had given him. You said whoever had a flag moves on to the next round. Descriptive. You said whoever had a flag moves on to the next round. Val Ellider said, you would have died in the girls' summer dispel if the robot didn't save you. Luthor shook his head. I have a flag. Val Ellider said, you lost, Luthor Timecrest. Give me back Model 1. Descriptive. Give me back Model 1. Val Ellider smiled and said, I gave you lots of chances, Luthor. Descriptive. Val Ellider smiled and said, I gave you lots of chances, Luthor. Val Ellider said, I let you make your silly speech about working together in front of the participants. I set up the challenge so you could still win without killing. Val Ellider said, I played fair, at least in this first round. Val Ellider said, I didn't even call the end of the match when Beatrix had all 5 flags. You didn't call the end of the match because I was still alive. And you didn't call the end of the match because I was still alive. And you want me dead. Descriptive help, but you didn't. Val Ellider said, yes, that outcome would have been more preferable than just being right. And you would be dead as well if the stupid robot hadn't intervened. Model 1. His name is Model 1. He's not a robot. He's my friend.
I can't, guys. I can't. I actually can't. Like, Model 1 saved Luthor and then he was just like, he's just gonna be destroyed. And like, Luthor does like him. Like, the whole time Luthor was just like, I don't actually like you. But then, like, at the end, Luthor actually realized that he does. And now it's just too late. I actually can't. This is actually so sad. Oh my gosh.
Bring him back so I can tell him that. Val Ellider said, your robot wouldn't have been taken away if you had just crushed Scarlet Ignis' skull instead of breaking her legs. But I told you that you couldn't win against people who were willing to give up more than you, Luthor. Luthor froze. He said, Sol is a prideful one, but he screamed for his sister's help and that's why he'll move on to the next round. Val Ellider said, Scarlet didn't want to kill like you, but she went through with it, helping her brother and earning herself a spot in the next round. Luthor clutched the sand as he looked down at the ground. Luthor clutched the sand as he looked down at the ground, his whole body shaking. Luthor took a few deep breaths and looked up at the second platform. He stood up and cupped his hands around his mouth. Masters, I'm close to contacting Time Manipulator Kronos, the first human to come to Olympia. Luthor took out the pocket watch and waved it above his head. I have Kronos' pocket watch. Please help me. Val Ellider said, all the vision mirrors are off right now. No one can hear you and from all the way down here. You just look like an insignificant speck. Luthor's hands fell to his sides. Val Elder looked somber as he said, "From what I saw, you could have easily won this round if you had just killed Scarlet Ignis before she used her summon to spell. I'm sad you lost while you're still alive." Val Elder said, "But I suppose I saw what I needed. Because my king seems to notice you, I started worrying you might be someone special." Left square bracket. Val Elder said, "But as it turns out, you're not someone I need to be afraid of because you will never reach your goals like this." Luthor sucked an air as if he was suffocating, and clutched his stomach as if he had been punched. Left square. "You think I want to be like this? Life would be so much easier for me if I just didn't care. If I didn't care about saving my people. If I didn't care about taking someone's life." Luthor's heart is pounding fast. Vertical scroll. Luthor's heart is pounding fast. Luthor's heart is pounding fast. "But I'm me. And I do care and I feel horrible when I hurt other people. Does it mean I can't have dreams? Does it mean I can't try to live my life the way I want? Does it mean I can't try?" Val Elder paused and lowered himself to the sandy ground. He looked Luthor directly in the eye. "No." He looked Luthor directly in the eye. "No." Val Elder said, "It just means that this world is not made for you, Luthor Timecrest." Vertical scroll bar. Val Elder said, "It just means that this world is not made for you, Luthor Timecrest."
That is not true.
Val Elder pointed his hand at Luthor and said, "You shall be detained until the end of the trials. I will give you your punishment then for possessing advanced human technology."
Isn't this enough?
System message. Luthor is teleporting. Luthor phased into a dark room. Luthor phased into one vision mirror teleported into the room with Luthor. Vertical scroll. One vision mirror teleported into the room with Luthor. The mirror broadcasted the arena, where the Ignis siblings are being patched up by Valdorian healers. Vertical scroll. The mirror broadcast. Silence filled the room until Luthor heard the crowd in the arena chanting, "Ignis, Ignis, Ignis." Vertical. Silence filled the room until Scarlet slumped in the sandy arena. Smoke still rose from certain areas inside the arena. Scarlet is covering her nose, her eyes wet. Saul was already on his feet looking extremely happy. He pumped his fist that held the flag into the air. The crowd got louder as they chanted, "Ignis, Ignis, Ignis." The louder the audience chanted, the bigger the smile on Saul's face. Gravitas Magnus, calcium rich. Vertical. Gravitas Magnus, calcium rich. The bones in Luthor's arm hardened as he punched the vision mirror. His punch did. The bones in Luthor's arm hardened as he punched the vision mirror. His punch did not even leave a mark. Saul continued to smile. Luthor sighed and walked away from the mirror. Besides the dimly lit vision mirror, the only other light in the room came from the pocket watch. Luthor looked down at the pocket watch, the soft glow illuminating his pale face. "I messed up." Luthor shook his head. "I messed up."
You didn't. You didn't do anything. Like, you just did what you said you'd do, and like the circumstances, the events just got like too much. Yeah, I don't know.
System
Wasn't your
message.
fault.
"We'll find another way to speak with the time manipulator. Don't give up, Luthor. 1 of 3. I'm sorry about Model 1, Luthor. 2 of 3. Maybe your gravitas spell will break the mirror. 3 of 3 respond. I'm sorry about Model 1, Luthor. 2.
I'll say the second one, because I genuinely, I am sorry about Model 1. Like, it
Messages.
was just the worst possible way things could have ever gone. Like, everyone is just dead. Like,
Luthor swallowed hard and shook his head. "Everything I want is out of my reach." Darkness washed over Luthor's face as he closed the pocket watch. System message. Connection lost. 29 minutes 50 seconds. The script.
okay, I genuinely don't blame him for closing the watch. Guys, this was the only way I can think to describe it is horrible. It was actually worse than I thought it would be. Like, it was just small talk 1 second. Like, it was just small talk 1 second, and I was just like, oh yeah, when is it going to get to the main events? And then it got to the main events, and like, it was horrific. It was genuinely horrible. Like, Scarlet just killed everyone, and then Model 1 just sacrificed himself, and just, it's just this whole thing, and it's actually so, I don't know, like, this is not the way that, like, I expected things to go, and I know I said that, like, I know this is, like, the 5th time I said something like that, but, like, this was absolutely horrible, like, oh my gosh. I'm off to recover. And I don't know, I think I'll have to end the video here. I know it's a really, really somber note to end it on, but it is kind of getting long. I'm really sorry about that, but I don't know. Hopefully a week of just other stuff is enough to get our minds off of this, because, yeah, so, I don't know, if you enjoyed this video, and if you think you'd like to see more like it, please consider subscribing to become a fellow Timecrestian, and give this video a thumbs up. See you guys next time. Bye.